Do you know that feeling when you got so many books that you can hold them for your picture without falling? Not the books, but you, because you're so busy grabbing them that you don't have balance anymore. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today is the day that I'm going to do my September book haul, which is pretty normal seeing here on my channel me doing book haul monthly or something. So yeah, September book haul. So for those of you that have seen my video on my book fair vlog here in Porto, I am going to show the same books that I showed there because I did like a mini book haul at the end of that video just with the books that I actually got in the fair, but I'm not going to talk in detail about the books. I'm just going to show them to you, and then I will talk about the other books that I got in September that weren't in the fair and so that are the main focus of this book haul. There's not a lot, but this is a giant book haul because I'm combining both of them, so I'm sorry. Just a disclaimer, I just want you to know that most of these books were given to me, so I am really happy that I actually have friends, families, and a boyfriend that enjoy giving me books and that they know that I love to read and that it makes me happy and that it makes me better cultivated, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. So please don't get alarmed when you think that I spend all of my money in these, because actually I think that I only spend my money in one of these. So yeah, okay, I'm not rich and I fully respect if you don't want to see a big book haul just because of that. But yeah, I am really happy that these people gave this to me, and so I'm really pleased to show them to you. So firstly, let's go through all of the books that I got in the book fair, and then I will show you the other books for the September book haul. So first of all, I have Rosemary's Baby by Aria Levin, and this is a horror classic about demon possession on a child, I believe. I haven't seen the movie because I'm waiting to read the book first. Or have I seen the movie? Like, I can't even remember, but if I had, I don't remember anything, so I'll probably read it and watch the movie after that. So this is a horror classic, and I really enjoy horror, and I really wanted to read a classic. Then I got the limited edition of A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, and this is obviously a fairly well-known classic as well, so I don't really need to tell you what this is about. I really love this edition. It's a hardcover edition, which I don't have a lot of books in hardcover, and I'm really happy that I got this. Then I have Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which I finally got. This one is in English and it is a Wordsworth editions, and I really wanted to read this. I think that this is one of the greatest classics ever, and it's fairly interesting because it's about this guy that murders someone and gets away with it, but his conscience and everything about him is kind of making him getting some doubts and exploring his motives and why did he did this and why did he escape justice and everything like that. So for me as a psychologist, it's kind of interesting to analyze this book and to read it, so that's why I got it. And then I got War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and this is a brick of a book, but I am so happy that I got like a full-on complete edition of War and Peace, because in Portuguese it's really difficult to get a full edition of War and Peace. Like, they are always in 4 parts or in 2 parts, and each of the parts costs 40 something euros or 20 something euros if it is in 4 parts. So it's really difficult and really expensive, and this one costed only 5 euros, although obviously the writing is really small, but I'm okay with that, and I really want to read this. I also picked up Confessions by Kanae Minato, and this one I actually have seen the movie already, and because of the movie I really wanted to read the book because obviously there are some differences between adaptations, and for those of you that enjoy thrillers, I guarantee you that you cannot find something as breathtaking and as amazing as this book, at least if it's something like the movie, and I'm betting that it's even better because obviously pretty much all the time the book is always better than the movie. But there are some exceptions, and yes, I'm saying this, and yes, you can roast me down in the comments, but it is true. We all seen movies that we like more than the books, so don't come at me. But yeah, just I'm going to read it, but I don't have to read it to recommend it to you because I already know that it's going to be great. I also have The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North, and this one is kind of sci-fi-ish sort of thing because Harry North is just this dude that leaves many times, and every time that he dies he gets reborn with all of the memories of his past lives. And yeah, but then apparently the world is going to end and he's the only one that can save it. So I don't know, this sounds interesting. I've heard a lot about this on BookTube, but not actually in real life. Like, I haven't seen it a lot, or I don't really know actually what this is about. So yeah, I'm interested to read this. And now for the books that I got for this book haul, which is the main attraction of the book haul. The first book that I got in this book haul, I don't have it here with me because my mom is currently reading it. So I'm going to try and insert a clip of me showing you the book when she gets home and I can actually get the book, because she went to her job and she's reading it, so it's kind of difficult. Or maybe insert just a photo of the book, but it's called, I believe, Nocturnals by Kazuo Ishiguro, and he's a Nobel Prize winner, so we kind of wanted to read something about him. I believe that there are collections of short stories about relationships and romance between people and life and passion and everything like that. So me and my mom, we both enjoy seeing how people react to each other. Basically because I'm from psychology and she's from philosophy, so we kind of like this sort of thing. So that was the main reason why we bought it, but we have no idea like if it's good or not. I believe that she's enjoying it, but I'm not sure. So as I said, I'm going to try to show you the book if I can. So here you go, Nocturnes, 5 Stories of Music and Nightfall. This is the book I was telling you about in my book haul. Yeah, here you go. My next book, actually, my mom got me and in the book fair when she went there without me, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And look at how tiny this edition is. It also has like really small writing, but it is in Portuguese, which I'm not sure if I love or if I don't love. Let's just see. But I've also read pretty much all of I read Dracula also in Portuguese, but I have read other Gothic classics in English. We will see, but I really wanted to own Frankenstein and to read it, and I am really happy that I have it. It's a really blackish, grayish color. I really love it, and I think that this is really beautiful, and I can finally read Frankenstein because I've never read it. I just know the story, and yeah, I have to read this. Obviously, Frankenstein is a Gothic classic written by Mary Shelley, and it's basically the story about Victor Frankenstein that creates a monster made of different human parts, if I am right, and then gives him life. And it's about the life of the monster and like understanding social rejection and all of the emotions that a normal human being would understand, but being rejected by his creator and everything like that. So I'm really excited to actually read it and to feel the pain, because this one is going to hurt, I believe. And now the rest of my book haul is going to be comprised of mangas, and so I start already with Happiness Volume 6 by Shuzu Hoshimi. And if you guys have been following me on this channel, you know that I am binge reading Happiness because I absolutely adore this. First of all, the art is beautiful, amazing, and incredible. Like, all 3 of them. One adjective is not enough for this art. I absolutely love this. This is basically the story of this guy that gets turned into a vampire. He's like a high school kid, but it's not just about that. It's about all of the characters that are part of his life and that actually get backlashes from what happens. And now we have fast forward in one of the characters' lives, and the main character seems to not be here anymore, which is kind of worrying, and I wasn't ready for this. And my god, is it beautiful, and it makes me feel so freaking emotional every time that I read one of these. I believe Volume 7 is already out, so I have to get onto that. And maybe Volume 8 is coming, I am not sure, but I absolutely love this. And if you like a little bit dark and emotional sort of manga, be my guest to read this. Obviously, it has some trigger warnings. If you don't like seeing blood, these images have a lot of blood. There is also a trigger warning for abuse, not in a sexual way, but abuse, violence, and everything like that. And if you're traumatized by scarring, maybe you should also read this book. But the rest of it it's just fairly emotional. It's not based on gore or anything like that. It's really based on emotion portrayed by the art style. So I think that you'll probably be fine if you don't have any terrible problem with any of these things that I just listed. So yeah, it's just beautiful and amazing, and I love it, and it's so emotional and so beautiful. Just, ooh, I love it. Then I have Made in Abyss, volume 3, and this one is by Akihito Tsukushi. And this is a series that I haven't started reading yet, but that I know it's about this girl that goes into a deep abyss searching for her mother. But people normally don't, when they go to the deepest level of the abyss, they don't come out alive because they can't come out of the abyss. They have physical and mental problems that don't allow them to come out. So obviously this premise is already sad because you're reading this expecting that your main character will eventually die. But yeah, I don't know what's going on about this. A friend of mine has told me that this is fairly scientifical, so there's no fantastical magic or stuff like that, so this is kind of based in science alone. But I think that it's supposed to be fairly tragic and fairly beautiful, and you all know that I love those sorts of things, right? Next, I have Ruby Volume 2, Mirror Mirror, and this is part of an official manga anthology of the Ruby characters. And if you haven't seen the Ruby animation on Rooster Teeth, I would fairly advise you to do so. It is not an anime, it is an animation, it is different, but it's so beautiful and I love it. And this second one is about character Weiss, which is kind of supposed to be sort of a Snow White-ish kind of thing, but not on his own, so yeah. And she's one of my favorite characters, actually. Well, I like the 4 main characters a lot, obviously, but she's so great. And I want to see how this volume compares with the first one, the Ruby Red Like Roses one, which was about Ruby, the leader of the team. And I'm really happy that they're doing one of these for each of the main characters. I really enjoyed this. Is kind of a collection of short stories about her time with the team and who she is and more character development. So yeah, I can't wait to read this. So the next one that I got is a hardcover, and it is Fireworks by Chunji Hiwai and Itoshi Yone. And basically, this was made into a movie, and then they did this novel adaptation. This is not a manga. This doesn't have drawings or anything. It's just normal writing in normal reading format. And this is, from what I believe, I haven't seen the movie because I've been waiting for this one to come out. But for what I believe, this kind of is like a competition between this girl and one guy, in which it's like, if one wins, the one that loses has to do something or to respect a wish from the other person. And I know that this has to do with the festival and with the fact that the girl is going away, and it's supposed to be really emotional. And there's this very philosophical question of, should you watch fireworks from the bottom or from the side? And would they change in the way that you watch it? Which I kind of believe that has to do with people and the way that you approach them and the way that you live your life. Like, would it change anything to do something in a different way? So I am really excited for Fireworks. I really want to read it. I really want to watch the movie, the animated movie. Yeah, so I don't know. I know that I'm going to cry because I always cry on these things like that are Japanese made, but tell me if the premise isn't beautiful, because it is. And now, my grand prize, my ultimate book for September, which I'm really happy about. Bear in mind that I have been searching for this book since I started reading manga, which was 10 years ago, probably? Something like that. So I am really happy about this. And yeah, this is Ibitsu by Haruto Ryo, and this is kind of a fairly explicit and violent and aggressive story about this kind of dollish Lolita sort of doll that a boy finds, I believe, in a dumpster. Yeah. And she asks him, do you want a little sister? And depending on the answer, you can seal your fate and meet diabolical death. So either she's possessed by the demon, or she's kind of a yokai, which is a Japanese demon, or she's kind of just an apparition of death. She's just creepy as hell if you look at it. And I do believe, because it says parental advisory, explicit content, I do believe that there will be a lot of gore. I don't know, because if you can see, this is in plastic. I haven't took the plastic off yet. I want that honor for when I start reading it, because I'm going to love it. But yeah, I really want to read this. I am so excited. I'm going to, this is actually says mature, okay, for mature readers. So I cannot wait for this. I am expecting to shit my pants. And if I don't, I'm going to complain, because I'm expecting to shit my pants. And if you look at this, you'll understand why. So that is all for today's book haul. I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you want, please tell me down below if you bought any books, or if you've been to the fair. If you're from Portugal or Porto, tell me if you've been in the book fair, because I really, really love it. Or if you've been in a book fair in your city, because that would actually be pretty cool to know about. Tell me what you got, or tell me what you're currently reading. Just tell me something in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like or subscribe. And yeah, guys, that is all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!